Hello everyone and welcome back to StatScope. Fasten your seatbelts because today we're diving into a rather spicy topic. 10 countries where Americans will not be welcome. We all love traveling, don't we? New cultures, new food, strange toilet situations, but it's not always a smooth trip. Some places are a little less enthusiastic about, say, welcoming Americans with open arms. Whether it's political drama, historical grudges, or just bad vibes, these countries can make it difficult for US travelers to feel at home. Let's dive deeper into these challenging destinations and understand why Americans don't high-five at the airport. Before we get started, I'd love your support and I'd love a friendly nudge on the like and subscribe button. Break's over now. Are you ready? Let's roll. Okay, let's start with the big one, North Korea. Imagine the world's most intense no trespassing sign, and you've got a pretty good idea of what it's like. North Korea doesn't just roll out the red carpet for Americans. In fact, they roll out layers of red tape instead. The visa process is a labyrinthine nightmare. Picture trying to navigate a maze with a blindfold on. Each turn, each corner, brings new bureaucratic hurdles. You need an invitation from an approved tour operator, and even then you're subjected to a grueling application process where your personal details are scrutinized under a magnifying glass. Once you're in, you're not exactly roaming free. You're escorted everywhere by government minders who ensure you stick to the pre-approved itinerary like glue. It's almost like being in a high-stakes reality TV show, but instead of fun challenges, you're stuck with constant surveillance and an unspoken rule of never straying from the script. The feeling of being watched is pervasive and unsettling. Your tour guides are there not just to show you around, but to keep a close eye on you. It's like living in an episode of The Truman Show, but with a lot less humor and a lot more surveillance. If you thought your mum checking up on you was bad, wait until you meet your North Korean tour guide. Every move you make is monitored, and while you might catch glimpses of the country's famed landmarks, the experience will be anything but liberating. Iran is a place rich with history and culture, but for Americans it's like that friend's party where you're kind of not invited, but you still really want to go because you've heard it's amazing. The US-Iran relationship has been rocky for decades, creating a complex web of diplomatic tension that affects how Americans experience the country. Getting a visa is akin to preparing a thesis, complex, lengthy, and filled with bureaucratic hurdles. You have to submit detailed personal information, provide proof of financial stability, and even secure an invitation from an Iranian sponsor. Once you've jumped through these hoops, you'll face an additional layer of scrutiny. The Iranian authorities keep a watchful eye on American visitors, and your movements might be monitored more closely than you'd like. The Iranian government has stringent rules about where you can and cannot go, and the cultural norms are significantly different from what you might be used to. For instance, your ability to take photos in certain locations might be restricted, and public displays of affection or casual dress might not be well received. The beauty and historical richness of Iran are undeniable, from the ancient ruins of Persepolis to the stunning architecture of Isfahan. But navigating these treasures requires careful adherence to local laws and customs. Next up, Russia. Russia. The land of vodka, vast landscapes, and lately some tense political vibes. Americans used to love exploring the grand architecture of St. Petersburg or taking in the majesty of Moscow's Red Square. But now, let's just say relations have chilled, like Siberia in winter, chilled. The visa process has become a bureaucratic labyrinth filled with a seemingly endless array of paperwork and requirements. Obtaining a visa involves not only submitting detailed documentation, but also providing an invitation from a registered Russian entity. Even once you've cleared these bureaucratic hurdles, navigating Russia can feel like stepping into a Cold War-era spy novel. The strained diplomatic relations mean that American tourists might attract unwanted attention, and the pervasive sense of political tension can cast a shadow over your visit. The once cherished sites, like the Hermitage Museum or the Kremlin, are still worth seeing, but they come with a side of political unease and a heightened sense of scrutiny. The complex interplay of local politics and international relations can make what should be an exciting trip into a test of patience and diplomacy. Venezuela. Once a go-to spot for stunning landscapes and vibrant culture, Venezuela has sadly become a place where Americans need to be extra cautious. Imagine trying to order food at a restaurant, only to find out that the menu consists of nothing but empty space. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Due to the severe political and economic crisis, the country is struggling with shortages of basic goods and services. Finding a place to stay or a decent meal can become a challenge, and you might find yourself improvising more than you'd like. Safety is also a major concern. The economic instability has led to a rise in crime, and the political climate is tense. As an American visitor, you're advised to keep your valuables close and avoid drawing unnecessary attention to yourself. The country's natural beauty, from the Angel Falls to the picturesque Andes, is still there, but the ongoing crisis makes traveling in Venezuela risky. Keeping a low profile and staying updated on travel advisories is essential. The vibrant culture and beautiful landscapes are overshadowed by the present difficulties, making it a place to avoid until stability is restored. Syria has seen more than its fair share of turmoil, and the heartbreaking part is that this country is home to some of the most historically significant sites in the world. Ancient ruins, anyone? Sadly, it's all been overshadowed by years of war and conflict. For Americans, getting into Syria is a straight-up no-go. The US government has issued strict travel warnings, effectively putting up a "Do Not Disturb" sign for the entire country. The ongoing conflict has severely damaged infrastructure, and the safety of travelers cannot be guaranteed. Even if you're the most adventurous traveler, this is not the time to visit. The risks are immense, from potential violence to unpredictable conditions. While Syria's historical sites, like the ancient city of Palmyra or the Umayyad Mosque, are remarkable, the current situation makes them inaccessible. The humanitarian crisis and conflict have created a perilous environment, making it a destination best avoided until there is significant improvement in the situation. Myanmar is like that beautiful vacation spot you've always wanted to visit, but then out of nowhere, everything goes sideways. Since the military coup in 2021, the political landscape has been a roller coaster, without any safety bars. Protests, crackdowns and violence have made it a risky destination. Americans aren't exactly top of the guest list, especially given the strained relationship between the US and Myanmar's government. The political instability has led to severe disruptions in daily life and safety concerns for travelers. The once popular tourist spots, like the ancient temples of Bagan or the serene Inle Lake, are overshadowed by the country's current turmoil. Travel advisories are in place, urging caution and often recommending avoiding all non-essential travel to Myanmar. The country's rich cultural heritage and natural beauty are still evident, but the safety risks make it a destination to keep on hold until conditions improve. Cuba, so close yet so far away. Despite being just 90 miles off the coast of Florida, Cuba feels like a world apart. Relations between the US and Cuba have been on a roller coaster for decades. One minute things are warming up, and the next, it's all cold shoulders again. Travel restrictions for Americans are still a reality, meaning that getting to Cuba isn't as simple as booking a direct flight. There are specific regulations and licenses required for travel, and even with these in place, the experience can be fraught with complications. Even if you manage to land in Havana, navigating the complicated rules about where you can stay, what you can do, and how you can spend your time can be a real headache. The vibrant culture, rich history, and lively music scene are all very much present, but they come with layers of bureaucracy and regulations. While the allure of Cuban cigars, classic cars, and colorful streets are enticing, travelers must be prepared for a journey filled with red tape and regulatory challenges. The warm, welcoming spirit of the Cuban people is a highlight, but navigating the political landscape requires careful planning and flexibility. Pakistan is a country of breathtaking landscapes and deep cultural history, but for Americans, it's like showing up to a party where everyone's got their own cliques, and you're just trying to figure out where to sit. There are areas in Pakistan that are simply off limits, and not in the "this beach is closed for maintenance" kind of way. I'm talking about real security concerns, from political instability to regional conflicts. While the country boasts stunning scenery, from the peaks of the Karakoram to the lush valleys of Swat, the security situation can be precarious. Travel advisories often recommend avoiding certain areas due to ongoing conflicts or security issues. Despite the rich cultural heritage and incredible landscapes, safety should always be a priority. If you're planning to visit, stick to the safer regions, stay informed about current conditions, and be prepared for potential challenges. Pakistan's natural beauty and historical sites are impressive, but the security situation requires careful navigation and planning. Afghanistan is one of those places that, despite its rich history and cultural significance, is currently off-limits for most travelers. The safety situation is dire, and the political instability means that Americans are advised to steer clear. The country's current situation is akin to a high-stakes game where the rules are constantly changing and the risks are high. The security situation is volatile, with ongoing conflict and instability affecting daily life. While Afghanistan is home to incredible historical sites and natural beauty, such as the Bamiyan Buddhas and the rugged landscapes of the Hindu Kush, the safety risks make it a destination to avoid. The humanitarian crisis and ongoing conflicts have created a challenging environment for both locals and potential visitors. The rich cultural heritage is overshadowed by the current turmoil, making it a place best avoided until there is significant improvement in the situation. Let's talk about Sudan. This country is home to some amazing historical treasures, but right now it's dealing with some serious political instability and conflict. It's like trying to enjoy a beautiful sunset while standing in the middle of a construction site. There's a lot going on that can make travel risky. The political situation has led to significant unrest, affecting both safety and daily life. Travel advisories often caution against visiting due to ongoing conflicts and security concerns. Despite Sudan's rich history and incredible sites like the pyramids of Meroe, the current instability makes it a challenging destination. If you're considering traveling to Sudan, it's crucial to stay updated on the latest travel advisories and prioritize safety. The country's historical and cultural heritage is remarkable, but the current conditions make travel risky and unpredictable. And that wraps up our whirlwind tour of places where Americans might want to think twice before booking a ticket. Travel is all about adventure, but it's also about staying safe and informed. So, whether it's the bureaucratic hurdles of North Korea or the political instability of Sudan, keep these destinations in mind when planning your next trip. If you enjoyed this tour through some of the trickier travel spots, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future explorations. Until next time, keep your wanderlust alive, but always travel smart.